Hi and welcome to this video. My name is Joseph and today I'm gonna take you through the semicircular rule. I hope you watched my previous video where I spoke about the runway characteristics. I spoke about the takeoff run available, the takeoff distance available, the landing distance available, and the accelerate stop distance available. Somehow about the clearway and then the stopway. But then today we're gonna speak about something different. That is the semicircular rule. Under the semicircular rule, we shall speak about the VFR and IFR, but so briefly. We have aircraft whose magnetic heading is between 0 degrees and 179 degrees. We also have those between 180 degrees and 359 degrees. So that's how they are separated. The ones between 0 degrees and 179 degrees are called easterlies. And then between 180 degrees and 359 degrees are called westerlies. Let's just make that drawing simple. Just as I say, between 0 degrees and 179 degrees, these are called easterlies. Because remember, we have our eastern direction this way and our west. We don't consider north and south when it comes to semicircular rule. We consider mainly the east and then the west. So if your magnetic heading is between 0 degrees and 179 degrees, that is an easterly. It is an easterly. And therefore, your flight level will be an odd number. Odd number. What are the examples of these? We have 1,000 feet, 7,000 feet, 9,000. And if the aircraft is having a magnetic heading between 180 degrees and 359 degrees, it is a westerly. And therefore, the flight level will be an even number. What are the examples of these even numbers? We have 2,000, 8,000 feet. We can stop there. So this is simple. But this directly applies to instrument flight rules. The aircraft that are using instrument flight rules are the ones which directly use these figures. 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 9,000. 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, and so on and so forth. I said those are instrument flight rules. Just as I promised earlier, I would speak about instrument flight rules. Instrument flight rules. So here are the aircraft that fully depend on instruments. The altimeter. Then we have the VFR flights. These are the ones which are depending on visual sight. Visual. Here maybe the captain is seeing a river and that's what they are following. They are able to see the clouds gathering. They are able to see all those things and that's what they are depending on basically. So these are called visual flight rules. Now, how about the aircraft that are using visual flight rules? How do they report their flight levels? On their flight levels, a 500 feet is added. For example, if it is 1,000 for VFR, an easterly that is using VFR, it is 1,000 plus 500. That gives us 1,500 feet. But if we are reporting this as a flight level, we ignore the last two digits, the last two zeros, and then we make sure our flight level is having 3 digits. We therefore shall have something like FL015. So this is an easterly that is using VFR. If we have 5,000 feet, for example, we add a 500 feet onto that, and then we shall have 5,500 feet, which is reported as FL055. How about if it is a westerly? If it is a westerly that is using VFR, an example would be 2000 feet plus 500 feet, and therefore we would be having something like 2,500 feet. And if the 20 are ignored, then we shall have FL0 to 5 as our flight level. And then if it is, for example, 8,000 feet plus 500 feet, we would have 8,500 feet, which is FL0885. So, just as I said, for instrument flight rules, we directly use these flight levels: 2,000, 4,000, 3,000, 5,000. If it is a westerly, we use even numbers. If it is an easterly, we use odd numbers. If it is an easterly that is using visual flight rules, that means shall add 500 feet onto the flight level, and therefore shall obtain something like FL015, FL055. If it is a westerly that is using visual flight rules, it is 2,500 feet, which is FL025 or FL085. But if it is only using instrument flight rules, mark this, it uses directly these figures as they are. We don't add a 500 feet to that. And remember, the minimum vertical separation is 1,000 feet between two aircraft. That is the ones which are not in RVSM. Though the RVSM also was reduced to 1,000 feet. Previously it used to be 2,000, but then it was reduced to 1,000. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, share. Till we meet again. In the next video, I'll speak more about VFR flights, IFR flights, RVSM. Yeah, this is very important. We're gonna speak about this. We shall speak about this, and you must understand it. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, don't forget to type it down there in the comments section. So let me